Hello and welcome to the Cameron Sadeghi Show on National Sports on Air, and we've got a great show on tap for you. All NFL on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. Here today, I will give you the ability to interact on this program and the ability to get your voice to be heard on this program as well. So, please give me your insight here on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. We got a lot to talk about, as I said, and let me get to the list before we go to break. We're going to take a quick break and start the show, but before I want to introduce what I'm going to talk about on this program, I want to discuss the Patriots' overreaction. It's been... I was at that game, actually, between the Patriots and the Cardinals, and I'll tell you what I saw from the stands, from my perspective on the field, right near the field. I'll explain what happened there, and then I'll explain the DUI charge on Michael Turner. The unfortunate passing of Steve Sable, the 69-year-old man who redefined what the NFL is at the broadcasting level, and as a person, president of the NFL Films. We'll talk about him, and we'll have a moment of silence for that man, someone who I have a lot of respect for. We also have to discuss the Giants-Bucks controversy. I mean, that was outrageous. Outrageous with the kneel down. I'll explain that soon. Also, at the very end, we're going to talk about those refs. Those replacement refs. I got a little rant on that. And divisional breakdowns. If we have enough time, I'll break down all the divisions and tell you who I think is going to be the winner of those divisions at the end of the season. But let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to our first topic. Patriots' overreaction to the Cardinals' loss. I'll explain that. Then we'll have Nick Rice, and we'll let things roll here on the Cameron Sadeghi Show. Stay tuned. We're back. We are back here on the Cameron Sadeghi Show, here on National Sports on Air, and I want to get to the New England Patriots overreaction. 20 to 18 loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Unbelievable. Stunning. Biggest upset, people have said. And I was in the stands for one of the wildest, wackiest, craziest games I've ever seen in my life. Because I've never seen the New England Patriots in my lifetime. I mean, the way they played was absolutely terrible. It really was. No sense of urgency. Offensive line was horrendous. And there's so many people out there saying, you know, Cardinals, great defense. I mean, they're very underrated. They've won, you know, they've won most of their games recently, and how, you know, they came off that emotional win against Seattle. You can give me all that all you want. But New England, surprisingly, I saw weaknesses, and it's pretty obvious where they are. And people are putting the blame on Tom Brady, and I don't know. I have to put some of the blame on Tom Brady a little bit, but that offensive line really looks atrocious. Really does. They've got some huge problems down there. But again, I understand that the Patriots are trying to run the football. They're trying to slam it up the gut, trying to, play balanced football, because the Patriots need to get to the ground root of balanced football. We've seen so many times with the New England Patriots passing too much, putting too much pressure on Tom Brady to get the job done, and the defense not being good. Actually, in that Arizona game, witnessing that, I have to say, the Patriots defensively did a way better job. And it was very evident. And I gotta say this about New England. If this attack, if they can, they had some plays where they were gimmies. Brady threw a beautiful pass and Gronkowski dropped a wide open touchdown. You had Gronkowski who had the holding call on Kerry Rhodes, which would have sent, if that didn't occur, Danny Woodhead is in for the end zone for 6. Wasn't the case. Or, you look at Gronkowski not catching another touchdown pass. You look at these simple little mistakes, and I wonder, even though the New England Patriots didn't play with the sense of urgency I am so accustomed to, I was surprised and befuddled that the Patriots made those mistakes. They beat themselves. That's not Patriot football. I know, there are going to be days when they're going to be bad offensively where they're just going to knock down field goal after field goal after field goal. But the turnover, the penalties, the mental mishaps, in the fourth quarter of a game, it didn't make sense. It was so odd to watch, and I think the Patriots kind of took this one for granted. Credit to Arizona. They grinded it out. They threw short passes. They used the shallow cross route a lot, used some slants, incorporated those type of plays to put themselves in short down and distances, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. That was effective offensive football. I thought they played the correct football when you want to face the New England Patriots. Defensively, they did a good job. They were active, getting under Tom, putting pressure on Tom Brady, and I think they did a superb job in that aspect. Now, it's still, I don't understand how the Patriots all say. I cannot believe it. I'm just shocked. But I have to say this. New England, I still think they're a Super Bowl contender. I still think they're a solid team in this league. But they got a huge wake-up call. Huge wake-up call on Sunday. And people like to blame it on Gostkowski. I don't blame it on Gostkowski. Actually, Stephen Gostkowski is the reason why the New England Patriots were in that game. It's downright cruel to put the blame on Stephen Gostkowski, because you can shank that kick and hook it all the way to the left all you want at the end of that game, but boy, when he had to make those 4 field goals, okay, when Stephen Gostkowski made those 4 field goals, he nailed all of them. He bailed the Patriots out. He made that game close. So if you put the blame on Stephen Gostkowski entirely, you didn't watch that full football game for 60 minutes. And what I saw with Gostkowski, he was the only one that was impressive to me in regards to New England. Only one where I saw a guy who didn't make any mistakes whatsoever on that football field when it came to New England Patriot football. Arizona, I'm really shocked by the way Arizona has performed these last 2 weeks. They're 2-0. That baffles me how these guys are 2-0. And say what you want about the New England one, and the New England played not so great, and then they barely slipped against Seattle with Pete Carroll's terrible decision on 2nd and goal with running the football and basically wasting the clock for absolutely no reason. But still, a win is a win for Arizona. 2-0. 2-0. They got supreme confidence. What I saw on that football field against New England, supreme confidence. When they had to make the plays that matter most, they did. When it was 3rd and goal, and I remember there was a drive, I believe in the second quarter. This was huge. Zoltan Mesko's punt was blocked. And I could not believe that New England's offensive line for special teams let that go through. Arizona blocks it, recovers it at the 2-yard line. On 1st and goal, they run the football for a yard. 2nd and goal, they throw to Fitzgerald on a route toward the left corner of the end zone, and incomplete there. 3rd and goal, everyone up on their feet. Never seen a crowd that loud before. They throw a screen pass, a pick screen pass. And people said, "Oh, really? Oh, that's a little dinky throw." But they punched it through. They punched it through. And I have to give credit to them. Credit to Arizona, especially Kevin Kolb, with all the scrutiny that he's gone through. And I hope John Skelton, is healthy, and I hope, I wish him well. But I can't believe it that I just can't believe the fact that New England didn't have the sense of urgency like they used to. For that one game, it seemed like it. And to be honest, I'll go out here and say this. New England can compete with anybody at any level. But some days, I don't know, maybe it's the game plan. Maybe I didn't really particularly like the way Bill Belichick handled the game plan, and I don't understand why. But I think he's gonna badger them the whole entire week with this loss. He's gonna say, "I told you so. I told you that you can't take this game for granted. That you can't just say, the Arizona Cardinals. They're not good. Oh, who's Kevin Kolb? He's so inconsistent. He throws interceptions. Who is this Arizona defense? Kerry Rhodes has aged a little. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They have Calais Campbell. He's not the best defensive end. Well, let me tell you, Calais Campbell really put some pressure. He put the pressure cooker on. He did. And I think New England, like all Super Bowl winning teams, you got to go through the sour loss. The game that you're not supposed to lose. That's what you have to go through. You have to go through a struggle. I mean, for crying out loud, the Giants almost didn't make the playoffs. Look at how big of a struggle they went through in December. How they had to fight back and claw their way through. How about that? And I think New England finally has come to the realization that they can't take things for granted anymore. And I think Belichick and company and what happened on Sunday showed. I thought losing for the Patriots did justice. If they win that game, they stole the game and they didn't really learn as much as they should have. Because if they win that game, no one talks about that game and no one addresses the problems and they don't get grilled. Even if they won that game by 1, I would have grilled them here on this show. So, please, don't tell me that New England, that Arizona, is a better team. I still think New England's going to the Super Bowl. Put me accountable for that. I think they're going to have a balanced attack in December, into January, and it will show in February. Plus, this defense has gotten astronomically better. So, I don't see any reason for them not making the playoffs or not going to the Super Bowl. By the way, we have Nick Rice, who we promised to come on the show to talk NFL. All right, Nick.